So, coming to you, Jennifer, last question, right? And again, this is, you're probably in the best position to answer. I'm going to obviously ask this of Leah and Megan as well, which is, this is a never ending battle. And it's unfortunately only going, if Apple can get ransomware, I mean, I don't know who's safe, right? So the question is, mental balance, mental health, and
Mm.
how do you kind of balance the need to kind of keep pivoting, learning at the same time, ensuring that your risk level is the same or better than yesterday? How does somebody deal with that?
That's a good question. It's lately, honestly, I've always been trying to meditate, not very successfully, but recently it started to take hold. And I will say that in the mornings after I check my emails to make sure nothing went wrong overnight, I'll try to do some meditating. And recently I've gotten into tapping and qigong as well. So the mornings that I can take an hour and do that before I start my day, I just have a much better perspective about it. And then the other thing is realizing that some things are just going to have to wait. You can't possibly have everything as a priority, right? Then nothing's a priority. So just trying to approach things that need to get done and then tabling others, and trying to protect the team from needless, not needless assignments, but just assignments that or requests for their time, right? Just not saying no, but just saying we can't do this right now, right? And just protecting them from all types of requests. But taking time out on the weekend, having tech free time is important, because it's true. Like when the buck stops with you and you get the email, or if something went down, or if there was a malware on this or that, you have to be responsive. So just trying to take time proactively for downtime.
Same question, Leah, for you.
Yeah, I mean, it is back to prioritizing and being organized, right? And literally calendaring in when you're not going to be working or on tech to take that time. I think kind of what Jennifer was mentioning with tapping and meditation. I've read the book Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and it's all about staying in the present mind and finding ways that, you can enjoy life and be at peace with everything else going on. And because that's important for overall just mental, wellness and overall health. And so I refer to that book a lot. And I exercise, I get outside or I go on the bike, but I use that is just me time, clear my head, let go of any stress from the day, and then prioritize. I mean, family, friends, love outdoor time. You just got to work that in, and you have to know, I think similar to what Jennifer was saying, look at it as, well, if you don't do those if there's 5 things you have to do, which one do you really have to get done now versus can wait? And then just go through the process. Like if I don't do 3, 4, and 5, what does that mean? Because you'll start to, when you dissect it a little bit more, you'll start to see like, you actually probably don't need to do it right now. It could wait 4 days or 5 days, right? So I think it's a mental game though, to think through all of that, but we have to do it, right? We cannot have the burnout. It's not healthy, and we're going to be better for it to everyone that we, work with, communicate with, live with. So.
Okay, final question for you, Megan. I know you're still not in cybersecurity, but looking at the number of people you've connected to, right? But what's your sense in terms of the ones that are able to stay balanced versus the ones that are kind of burning both ends?
Yeah, I mean, I think burnout is happens in any field. So it's something that I can apply, like what I do to once I've joined the field. So I do a 5-minute journal every morning, and so you do goal setting and gratitude, and I think like centering your day around being thankful for things just sets the tone for it. And you put a picture as well, so there's a visual element, and then at the end of the day I go back to that, and you do a little bit more journaling, where you do, how did those things, like you set intentions for the day, how did those intentions from the day that I earlier sent went? Was there anything that could have gone differently? And it's not judgmental. It's just like, could it have gone differently? Not did it go terribly? And so I think having a day bookended by intention and journaling, I do a bit of meditation every day. I think that's crucial. The people I know that seem to be less stressed seem to do exactly what Leah was talking about. Like, they spend time outside. They spend time with, family, friends, their dog, their whatever, their furry creatures if they have one. And, making sure that you are not all work 24/7, because that fire that's burning in the dumpster will be there the next day. And it could be a different fire. And so there will always be a next thing. There will always be a next emergency. And so it seems to be the people that seem calmest about that are very aware that there will be a next one. And, you need to be able to ride those waves. And so I think that's really crucial. And Ashwin, I'd love to hear your response to this too, if you don't bring the question back at you.
Yeah, that's a first. No, it's great. I think you have to find, and this goes back to something that Leah, you and I talked about Teflon Tales yesterday, right? Which is the ability to go back and find what is a happy place for you, right? So for me, I think a lot of it is, reading certainly gives me that calmness. In fact, I have a book over here talks about daily inspiration, right? I just found this yesterday. It's something that my mom had bought for my daughter, and I said, "Hey, are you reading?" And she said, "No, you can have it, Dad." Right? So it's just one quote every morning, and it's from a person called Swami Vivekananda, right? Who is one of the foremost leaders of India, and he gave a speech in Chicago in, I think, 1893, which is still recorded as one of the greatest speeches ever by a foreigner in the U.S. So. And again, these are kinds of things that I kind of thrive on. The hardest thing for me, I'll be honest with you, is just like turning off social media, right? Because Jennifer and Leah have known me a little bit longer, right? It's not for, hey, is my post doing well? It's just, it's one of those things. I have to talk about privacy. I have to talk about, anything that I learn, I want to kind of give out there, right? So for me, it's like, hey, you need to stop giving right now and then kind of start doing something which is not tech related. So I think it's very individualistic, but you're right. I think people have to find their own kind of happy place, which is what gives them the fuel to come back the next day. Again, thanks for putting on the spot.
I think too, even who you surround yourself with, right? Look at all of us here and how we've all connected, which I love, and can't wait to meet you all in person someday. But, we have those practices and we share it, and it encourages for us to remember to do it, right? And I think even if like you're a mentor or manager, that's important to do to your team and pass it along. So the support is tremendous, and I love this group.
Awesome. Yeah, great conversation again. Thanks for your time, and looking forward to keeping in touch.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ashwin.